And inside the envelope, I have 5 cards. And on each card are 5 different symbols. Okay, so we have, I've got a circle. You got that? Okay, circle, 3 wavy lines, a star, a square, and a cross. Now, what I want you to do is pick up the cards, look at them, mix them up, and then choose one card, and then place it face down for me right there.
Mix them up, I can choose one?
Yeah, just choose one, and then place it face down. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to try and decide which card you chose, okay?
Okay.
What card would you choose? I'm going to go for...
I'm not going to get it.
Okay, well, you know, we're going to go...
Psychology.
I think I am. I think I am. Okay, you got... Oh, son of a bitch. All right.
I took psychology classes, and women choose 10 circles, and men tend to choose squares, so I chose a square, thinking you think that I chose a
Okay. There's a common misconception that a connection between 2 people happen due to their conscious decisions and efforts. But really, that's not the case, all right? I want to try something with you if you can just humor me for one moment, okay? If you can put your feet flat on the floor. I want you to just take a nice, slow, deep breath in. Perfect. Now what I want you to do, I want you to think of a time when... I want you to think of a time when you felt love from someone or for someone, and or a connection, okay? I'm going to do the same thing, okay? We're going to try to do something. And for this little bit of our experiment here, I need everybody to be completely quiet so we can kind of build a connection. Okay.
Okay, Joseph.
You can call me that. This show's going in a completely different direction than I was planning. Am I red? I don't know.
Yeah, you're red. You're sweating.
Okay.
Can I open my
You
eyes?
can open your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. What I want you to do. Okay. What I want you to do is we're going to both do the same thing. I want you to take your cards, all 5 of them, and here's your 5th one. Now, I don't want you to make a conscious effort. I want the rest of this experiment to be solely just from that feeling. So,
Okay.
for the rest of this experiment, I want you to have that thought of love and that connection in your mind and just kind of spread throughout your entire body, okay? Now you're going to take the cards underneath the table because I don't want you to see them, and just go ahead and mix them up in a random order, just
Okay.
like this, okay? And when you're done, just let me know.
But I already know which one I'm attracted to.
That's why, no, this is a completely random choice. I want you to go, I want the feelings to control the choice
Well,
from
yeah.
here on out.
Yeah, I was already thinking of which symbol made me feel like...
No, not the symbol. I want you to think of a person or just a connection.
Okay.
Stop being like me.
I know, this is,
Okay.
I know you have to use your emotions. Well,
Okay. Okay.
we're good?
We're good.
Okay. Now, go ahead and turn your chair this way. Slide over here, but face me. Perfect. You'll understand here in a minute. What I want you to do is, because I don't want anybody to see. I want this to be, this is a connection between us right now. Okay. Lean forward if you have to.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is, you're going to turn over the top card, not yet. And then you're going to take the next 2 cards and then place them on top. So both our cards will be sandwiched in the middle.
Okay.
And then just square it up like that. So all of them are face down except for our card.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to do that to you right now. Okay?
Okay.
You've got that?
Okay. I don't know which is which.
It doesn't matter. That's the whole point of this. Okay? That's mine. That's yours. Peel that and seal that.
I haven't done that yet though. Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't.
No, I just shuffled them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You
yeah.
shuffled. Okay.
I'm a terrible participant.
Okay.
Okay.
Turn over the top card,
Okay.
and now take the 2 bottom cards
Okay,
on top.
get it.
Then,
Okay, there we go.
perfect.
We gotta hurry up because I'm slow.
Okay, seal that up,
Okay.
and then just put it right there. Okay. I've got a quick story to tell you now that we burned up. Sorry. There you go. This is a story about a young couple back in the early 1800s. And it was John and Helen. Now, they had only been married for a short time, and they had just built their first home. And they were sitting in front of the fireplace, the rain started coming down, they were kind of cuddled under a quilt that Helen had just made. And Helen reached over and leaned over and whispered in his ear and said, "I love you." Now John reciprocated with a nice embrace and said, "I love you more than life itself." Now, this went on for several years where they continued to show love on a conscious effort. And one evening they were walking home, and John could just tell there was something going on, that there was a problem with her. She was in distress, and so they stopped, and he asked her, "What's going on? What can I help you with?" And she goes, with tears welling up in her eyes, grabbed his hand and said, "I don't love you anymore. We need to go our separate way." John then immediately reached in, he pulled out his wallet, and inside, when they were first married, he wrote down a note. He handed it to her, and at that moment, a wagon was coming towards them, actually hitting both of them, killing John instantly, and injuring Helen. Well, the next morning, Helen awoke, holding the wallet and note in her hands. She immediately opened it up and read it. If you could do that for me, and read it so everybody can hear.
Okay. When I lose your love, I lose my life.
Now, this story was a local legend in Illinois, and it spread like wildfire, and it came across this small town called Nauvoo. And this man who was larger than life, who believed the same thing, that a connection was more than just a conscious thing, but more of a spiritual, deep connection. And he heard this story, and this man was a prophet, this man was a general, this man actually, there's a rumor that he actually started a gentleman's club. I don't know if that's true or not, but his name's Joseph Smith. And this man devised a test to prove this theory, that it was a simple test, actually. What he would do is have a young lady come to his house, preferably the ages just before they turn 15. And they would come to his house, the young lady would come to his house, they would set at his table. He had 5 cards with 5 symbols on it. They would mix the cards up randomly, flip one over, and then put it and seal it in envelopes. Now, if they got it right, that was to prove from God himself that this young lady was to be his celestial wife, or polygamous wife, as we know. So, unknowingly, you took the test. And I tried to stick to test conditions as much as possible, but God damn it, we got an angel here, and he has a sword, and he's going to kill us. So I had to. Okay, so I don't know. We're gonna. Okay.
What if they don't match? Someone can't
Then you know what? Then we can't get married.
Okay, so then the angel kills you.
Basically, yeah. No, then I just tried to test with another person. So,
Right, eventually.
so yeah, I know exactly. It's all about odds. The odds are in my favor. Okay. Got that. All right. This is what I want you to do. Just take the cards and just spread it slowly, just so your card is just a little bit visible. Okay. Now,
Okay.
now go ahead and slide it out. Keep it in the same order,
Okay.
like that, and slide it out.
Hold on.
if she was worthy to be the spouse, okay, to be the polygamous wife. For some reason, Joseph loved glory in different degrees of glory. So he had the same thing in his whole polygamous setup too, is that a single or two match thing would be kind of like outer darkness. And they were the ones that were doing all the chores, changing the kids, laundry, cooking and stuff. But if you got like 4 or 5 right, then you were like the celestial wife. And they were the ones that got to be part of the, the whole, how can I put this? The prophetic penis and the seer stones. They got to play with that stuff. The other ones, not so much. So, all right, turn over the top card. Next one. Next one. And the last one. Now, I left my ring at home, but I wanted to give you this to represent our celestial connection. But since I'm a false prophet, you can just go take a seat. Those are yours to keep, so. All right, there you go. Thank you so much for
Was there a second set of cards?
Jeremy. Okay, actually here, I'm gonna have you hold this so they can hear you.
All right.
We got the first 2 words, right?
Are we doing the other one?
Let's do that. Let's go for the last one.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this in 3 words also, okay? All right, you got the 3rd word?
Yeah, I need to put it in the back of my brain for a minute.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, first random word.
Idaho.
Idaho. I just threw up in the back of my mouth. What the hell? You're a freak, aren't you? Idaho, I mean, spuds, what the? Okay, second random word.
Cement.
Cement. Cement. Actually, you're getting really good at this. Okay, give me the 3rd one.
Rose.
Rose. I might have to come back to it. Okay, yeah, you actually got pretty good at this. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to it. Okay, I need another volunteer. You want to come up here?
Yeah.
Okay. I promise this has nothing to do with polygamy. I had no choice. It was the angel. Come on up here. What's your name? I'm Scott. Scott, that's right. If you can come over here, give him a big round of applause for coming over. Okay, so while preparing this show, I've actually had a lot of this stuff in the back of my mind since 2012 when I actually left the church. And I was trying to figure out how in the hell he did some of this stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm a mentalist. I can do the same shit that guy can do, and he can probably better. So I'm going to use the exact same cards as we used before, okay? So the only one that's different is, we got the 3 wavy lines, the square, the star, plus sign, circle. The only one that's different is the figure 8. Now, back in the 1930s, a man by the name of J.B. Rhine, he was a parapsychologist at Duke University, and he devised a test using these symbols to try to find people that had psychic ability. And so they actually test thousands of people, and they generally used about 5 cards. There's actually, I believe, a total of like 8. And anyways, they did about the running percentage was about 20%. So out of 5 cards, that's really no better than guessing. So basically, it's all bullshit. So, but the test was pretty simple. They would have one person go at you, mix the cards up, And then they would choose one card, and then the person that supposedly had the gift would intuitively try and guess what the card was. And so that's what we're gonna try now. Now the interesting thing is I could go a completely different direction and just said, you know what, it has nothing to do with supernatural abilities or anything like that. It has to do with psychology, reading body language and stuff like that. And at the time, this was the benchmark test to see if someone had psychic abilities. And you could actually fold the test and you would never know the difference. Now I have something here and I thought would be perfect for this because Joseph Smith during the time, and actually psychics still use a pendulum. I don't know who's familiar with one of these. Okay, so have you used one before or seen one? Okay, so basically it was a way of tapping into God, the universe. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I actually got this from a friend who's a real psychic. Well, okay, and she's a real friend. Anyway, so anyways, but I thought it'd be great because back in Joseph Smith's day, they used witching sticks or divining rods. He used stones. They had bones. They did all sorts of stuff, and this was pretty commonplace. And I thought this would be the perfect place to kind of debunk or show you basically how this is done. Now, go ahead and just take the top card. You can place it right there. Take a look at it first. Okay. You got it? Okay. What you need to do is you need to hold on to, just pinch your fingers on the bead, and you can rest your elbow right there so your arm doesn't get tired, okay? Now you may see something happen, you may not. We're gonna see if this works. Figure 8. Circle. Plus sign. Star, square, and 3 wavy lines. Okay, you can put it down. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm gonna go with that right there. We've got a star and a star. Okay, so if you guys didn't know any better, you would actually, I could actually fool somebody and they would think that it's, I'm using some sort of voodoo magic or I'm a psychic, and I don't. I can kind of explain what's going on. All it is science. Is when you're thinking of something, you get these little micro movements that move down your arm and then are amplified by the chain and the weight. And so here, if you could hold on to it, now we'll test it here. What I want you to do is just focus on that, okay? And imagine you have superpowers. Don't try to make it move, but just in your mind, I want you to push it back and forth, only in your mind, and really see it, visualize it. The better you can visualize it, the better response. So we're getting a little bit of movement now. It's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as it moves further and further. Now watch. If I put a circle under it, it actually will start moving in a circle. It'll start rotating slowly in a small circle, but it gets bigger and bigger. And I've done this and it freaks the hell out of me. And all it is science. There's nothing more to it. As it gets bigger and bigger. And everybody's a little bit different. So you get some people where you'll get really big circles, and other people it's real small. But you get a little bit, so you're getting a little tiny, okay, there it goes. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so that's all that's going on. So I'm trying to decipher those little signals, and it makes it look like I can read his mind, which I really can't. Okay, now let's take it a step further, okay? Actually, the circle is mine, right? Okay. Go ahead and just take a look at the card, and then put it face down. Okay. Okay, put your hand out. All right. All right. It's going to be kind of the same thing. I'm just going to don't answer anything out loud, okay? Okay. Circle. Square. 3 wavy lines. Star. It's 3 wavy lines, right? All right. Now, let's take this a little bit a step further. What I want you to do is, everybody has kind of their favorite card, so go through, I want you to pick out your favorite card, and then just go ahead and place it face down for me. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Now, this genuinely is like one of the most difficult things that I do, so I'm not even gonna touch you.
Okay.
You gotta put a poker face on though, because if you like, alright. Alright. You ready? Okay. Do not answer out loud, only answer in your mind, okay? Okay, I'm actually not even gonna ask you any questions. I just want you to visualize it. If you need to, take a nice slow deep breath in. Perfect. Just visualize it in your mind. Yeah, if you need to close your eyes, that's perfect. But if you need to turn it a different color, do whatever you need to do to make it as vivid as you possibly can. Okay. Damn it, I didn't want to have to cheat, but I'm gonna have to cheat. I'm sorry, guys. I've got the Holy Trinity here, the Book of Stone, Doctor in Stone, and Pearl of Great Stone. So, and the Holy Stone too, I guess that would be. Anyways, I think this would be a lovely. You're right, it does block out the light a little bit. Okay,